Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am here for a Frieren fight. Actually, 3 established Frieren fights and maybe a 4th if things get a little bit funky. First, Fern is facing off against a Wind Wizard demon. I'm really excited to see that happen, and it seems like Frieren is not going to help her. She seems very convinced that Fern has this one in the bag. Fern is not so convinced, but we'll have to see how it plays out. My inclination is to trust in Frieren on this one. Methode is making moves against the extremely long single sword wielding girl demon. Cool. And finally, Gennau and Stark are facing off against the Divine Revolte and his 4 magically manifested swords. Okay, those are our fights. 4th, however, there's a cute, curious little girl child demon who seems really interested in humans to a degree that most demons are not, and I'm really curious about her, especially because the Divine Revolte made sort of an offhand promise to her that he would indeed tell her about this other demon that knows a lot about humans, right? And she seemed really into that, and it seems like we're not going to get there because we're probably going to kill the Divine Revolte, but like this seems like the seed planting of a story thread that might actually be big news, might actually be important. Who is this demon that's actually curious about humans, that cares about more than the demon world? It seems like maybe there are inroads to actually communicate. Probably not. Probably they're just going to use that information to murder us better because that's what these demons do. But it's still a curiosity to me. Now, to hone in a little bit. Gennau has been our focus all the way through these last 2 episodes. In some sense, it's as though we're observers here to see Gennau go through this past, present, what am I going to do next situation. He's totally lost in a strange melancholy, a kind of despair. And the comments around the previous couple of episodes have been rather mixed about Gennau, rather polarized. Some of those comments have been focused on how good his characterization felt to the viewer. That those episodes were effective at showing us some sort of emotional experience going on with Gennau. On the flip side, there are people who find him to be a repulsive hypocrite because, in large part, of his treatment of wannabe first-class mages during his portion of the exam, and the perceived hypocrisy between that and the way that he's treating the dead in this village, and kind of going through what one commenter called sort of like a woe is me sort of situation that just feels flat and empty. I can see both sides. Gennau is complex, I think. And that's strange to say because we don't really see much inside his mind. He's very walled off. He's brick. He's granite. He's trying to be so solid. But there are cracks. There is a human fallibility to him, a strange perspective to this strange, dark, murderous crow of a man who, one commenter pointed out, goes from battlefield to battlefield, sometimes after the death and destruction has already occurred, to pick over the corpses like the crows from which he seems to take a lot of his aesthetic inspirations. He's a strange character, and I'll admit I'm not sure how I feel about him either. I'm not exactly a big fan of the guy, but I can't help but see him as like a result of his circumstance, as a creation of the situation of being this powerful death dealer who is given the command to go out into the wilderness and seek out monsters, and usually to find them after they've already done their monstrous bidding, done their monstrous doings, and killed lots of people, and he shows up in the aftermath to clean up like a carrion bird. It's a dark fate to find yourself in, and for him to become a dark person, having walked that path for a while, seems harmonious. It seems to rhyme. It seems to be like right in some way, even if it's kind of gross and kind of dark and kind of sinister and kind of not what we want to think of when we think of the beauty of magic and the power of humanity fighting back against the demons and all of that stuff. There's a darkness there. I'm kind of intrigued by it. It's something that I want to be able to write into characters as well, because it's something that I really genuinely struggle with when I'm portraying or writing characters, is writing them to have not just cartoonish evil or mustache twirling maniacal, megalomania, but tension and struggle and internal pain that drives them to keep doing this thing that seems to cause him more internal pain. It's a strange circumstance to be like a vanguard, of a front runner of a soldier who goes between these places and experiences the death and destruction at those front lines and then cleans up after the fact. How does Gennau see himself? I'm not sure. A tool, maybe. A cog in the machine, maybe. Strange to say, given where we are in Jujutsu Kaisen, but there's something that connects there. For anyone who's watched the most recent episode of JJK with me, I said that there was something sad about Yuji presenting himself as sort of a cog in a larger machine, and I think that those feelings might apply very much to Gennau as well. All of that emotional context aside, I think we're looking forward to some pretty excellent fights here. We've had less of that so far in this season of Frieren, but there was a period in the first season of Frieren where it took a little bit of time before we ramped up into some really spectacular battle, and this feels like the point where we should do that, yeah? It feels like the point where Frieren can really kind of open up and be really impressive, and I very much hope that it does, and I'm a little bit scared that I'll be disappointed if it doesn't. Does that make sense? Yeah. But the setup is good. It has everything that I could want. Exciting demons, questions about powers, something to overcome for Fern, an emotional backstory and struggle for our introduced side character in Gennau, and some pretty incredible sort of set-piece options with his crow wings made of metal and the Divine Revolte having four swords and an enormous snaky body, and all these environments being set up and the ability to swap between them to do blasty big magic stuff or up close in interpersonal conflict, combat, face-to-face kind of stuff. There's like a wide range of interesting shit that we could do here, and so I'm really excited to see it done really well. Just hoping so hard that it ends up being done really fucking well, because I want a home run. I want this to smash it out of the park. I want extreme awesomeness to pay off for the time that we've sunk into developing this little side story, developing this plot line up. I want it to pay off in spades. That's what I'm hoping for. We'll get into the episode in just a second. Let me draw something. Okay, so I sort of described this idea last time with Gennau, like, slicing with his feathers, and I was thinking about how I would want to actually evoke that. I'm going to try something weird, and if it doesn't work out, then it doesn't work out. But I want to create the feeling of, like, something has cut through the cloud of darkness, and I'll be happy if this is abstract, but contains a sense of momentum to it. That's really all I care about here. Straight. Weird. Genuinely not sure how to feel about it. It's kind of cool. It's kind of freaking weird. Good. Good, though. That's what I call an experiment. There we freaking go. I don't know. I think what comes out of that for me is like, I don't know what I'm going to use that for in the future, but I just unlocked something that looks interesting, and at some point I'm going to know what I need that for. I don't know when, I don't know what it's going to be, but that's a tool It's a weird tool. It's got a strange shape to it. I don't know what the fuck it's for, but I'm gonna put it in my toolbox and carry it around with me for a little while, and maybe I'll find something interesting to do with it. Yeah. Alright, let's go ahead and dive into episode 8 of Frieren and see how these fights get going. I've got the episode up and ready to go. There will be 2 versions, picture-in-picture in the description, timer on YouTube, early access on the Patreon, and a BP timer to count you down. Let's get into the episode and see how we do against the Divine Revolte and his squad of demons. I think I'm gonna bring out a note paper for this one. I don't know why, I've got a feeling I might need it. Even when I'm ready for it, I'm never ready for it. It's crazy. A magnificent end for Gennau? Maybe. That's pretty sick, dude. Oh, it does throw. Oh, that's pretty sick, dude. Let's go. Shit. Whoa. Whoa. Wait. Wait, who was that? I'm a little overwhelmed immediately, instantly. Oh my god. Truly like a Dark Souls boss, but now it's something else. Whoa. Stark's doing this on purpose. He's done it before. Otto! Just straight through the body? True. It's a good teammate, too. Holy shit! Oh yeah, the history. Mm-hmm. Oh. He's messing with his mental. Just end him, Gennau. You probably should. Shit, he's got another sword. What? Fuck, 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 fuck. Oh, but he's escaped. Wait, what was that? Oh, shit. Ah, shit. Did I do good? Not quite. Well, okay, guess we're not finding out any more about that demon girl. Fuck. Playing with the kids. Such a bullshit trick, Revolte Stark! Even Gennau. He's still gonna fight. Now there are two, dude. Now there are two, dude. Because you're about to die for the same fucking reason. That was the title, right? Even you say things you don't mean. I think he does mean that, though. Well, maybe not, because he has such contempt for... I don't know. Oh. Ha 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 ha! Let's go, Stark. It could be both! It could be both, Gennau! Yeah! Yeah? Now we're gonna cut away. We're gonna go to B-plot? Fuck. Ugh. Ugh. I do not like this magic. Just hanging out. Maybe help! I know you're confident, but like, it is life or death, dude. He seems completely able to sense her. Yeah. No matter where you are in the fog. Damn, that's bad. She's really good at it, though. Does the fog also work as a defense? Oh, wow, that was cool. Okay. Uh, this is too cool. Shit, speaking of unconventional magic. Methode is too fucking good. Way too fucking good. And hot. Have I mentioned hot? Hmm. Hmm. The conventional and the unconventional. Metoda is too good at this. Whoa! Whoa! What was that? Please. Please do. Completely. What? Methode, how the fuck do you work? That was victory, wasn't it? You do? Oh. Oh. She's not dead. Oh, she's still in it. Okay. Yeah, fuck a fair fight. Oh, that's number 2 of these insane cuts. Who the fuck is doing that? They're a lot like the Dandadan cuts, which is crazy. But they're also like nothing that I've ever seen. The rapidity, the movement, the camera. Oh, we're throwing. Opening. Oh, he doesn't have a, you don't have a weapon start. He's gonna use his fists. Okay, that's 3 now. They may all be by the same animator, but that's 3 cuts that stand out in the same way to me. Whoa. Thank you for the save. Them teaming up has been awesome. Has been awesome. Hello, Snack. Oh. Oh, delivery. He's getting stronger as they fight. Because she's elsewhere. Yeah, she's been doing something else. Just wants to get rid of the fog. But she has divine magic as well, and poof. And now Fern absolutely is going to demolish him. Shit. All she needs is a millisecond, though. Oh, and she can hide. Oh, she was up in the moon. Methode just won Fern's fight for her. That's so crazy. And now they're teamed up. Oh my gosh. Is she gonna run? There's the bloodlust needed. Jesus. Straight from the moon, right? So far. Wow, guys. Yeah, that's clever. Yeah, that was exhausting. You almost got me killed, Frieren. And on this front, like, we've got this big lift of victory. Either we smash it and Gennau gets killed here, or we continue the trend and we smash this guy to death. Okay? That's 3. Four swords gone. It was before, too. Ah! What the fuck? I don't think he assumed that. Taking a cue from Stark's first move. Jesus Christ, Stark. He's being held. Yeah. Alright, can we get a Methode for the healing right now? Like right now. Like an hour ago. The past? Yeah, what actually happened here? You really are a good person. To get to Stark? God damn, this is quite a scene. Hi there. Yeah, no dying for you. What a way to phrase it. Where's Stark? He asks immediately about Stark. I think he is a good guy sometimes, man. I think he'd be pleased with that, too. Oh, he pointed. Yeah, hole straight through the chest. Jesus. We all hung out for a little bit. We're just montaging through hanging out here for a while. Clearly. 100%. He's just trying to rehab. True. Please! I know that they're gonna say no, but please! Please, she's so useful! God, fuck! Say yes! This is dumb! Take her with you! No! You can't always run away! Sometimes there are things you need to defend! Oh, we're waiting for someone else, huh? That's cute. That's cute. We should take fucking Metoda with us. Oh! Oh! A little protective. Oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. The fact that you hate me only makes it better. Yep. Yeah. Oh, no. Oh! Well, you can do push-ups, barely. Ah. Just cough blood. Okay. Ore. Hmm. Hmm. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. Did I fail to die again? Please! Group graves? That's a cool salute. Oh, no, we're cremating. No. Shit! Shit, we could've kept. No! That would've been so good! Okay, there are so many animations. I know that's so dumb, but there's so much animation in this episode, man. From, like, Demon Lady walking forward, to Methode booms, to fog stuff, to all the dynamic, like, super sweepy shots around the Divine Revolte shot. I need to know who animated those, because those are spectacular, and they're different. They're different from previous Frieren stuff that we've seen. Okay, there are 3 cuts that I need to know if they're the same person. Okay, we get some worms. Dragons? Email's memoirs? That's a cool title for an episode. Okay, thus wraps our Frieren fight episode. This was pretty cool. It is chock full of really interesting cuts, some of which are genuinely spectacular. Some of which are just cool, just like really fun and interesting choices. Like there's a scene that might be my favorite animation in the episode is the sword-wielding demon girl walking forward over the course of like 3 seconds through the fog, and it's just like I think it's all on ones and it's super articulated. There are lots of little things moving. Her hair is like whipping around the whole time. It's like a scene out of a video game trailer. It feels so goddamn cool to me. But there are, I think, 3 super dynamic cuts that move around a bunch, have the camera moving around a bunch, and they're all around the Gennau Stark Revolte fight. And they look so similar, they feel so similar that I want to put my finger on who animated them. I want to determine if all 3 were animated by the same person, and I want to connect that to what that person has animated elsewhere, because like what? I've seen that before. My brain went beep 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 beep, beep, but I don't know what it went beep 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 to. So I want to sink my teeth into it. Let me go through the episode. Let me highlight the moments that I really want to look at in context of the episode, and then we'll check them on Sakuga and figure out who's naming them. And I might mess with the timing of that or like the order of operations here. That's totally fine. I will focus in on some of the like thematic and verbalized and story stuff that goes on in the episode too. But at the moment, I'm so animation pilled at the moment. I'm so much in the zone to look at the animation and figure out who did it and how it looks and how it works and how it all ties together that's just what I'm going to focus on to start. Okay. Big 3D windmill. Pull all the way out for our opening shot, and yeah, big 3D space. You can tell that the whole space, and we do this slow pan around it. Okay, so that's part of things. And then we do this like camera moving at a certain rate, and then it moves much faster, and then it moves at a slower rate again. Woof, woof. Just from the start, this is really impressive 3D camera. Not the 3D of it, not the movement against the background, that's almost trivial once you've set up the 3D models and stuff, but the way that we're, like, angle shifting gradually on the 2D elements is, like, immaculate. And will come into play once things hit momentum moments later. Gosh, everything is so crisp. So, there are a bajillion examples of things that are this crisp or better in the episode, but I'm just going to point at one because it's the first one that I see. Gennau whips his wings forward. We pull our camera right behind his head, right behind his head, hold that motion, and we whip the camera forward at the same time his wings whip forward and produce this blast of feathers, right? And then the next cut after that is like aftermath, essentially, of the feathers. This is just cleverly put together, but that little whoosh of the camera sideways with it gives us all the momentum that we need for the scene. We get this perfect setup, payoff, anticipation, and like explosion that all happens in this one tiny little moment, and it's nothing. It's nothing in the context of the thing, but there are a million moments that are like that are cleverly set up to be as solid, anticipatory, like build-up of tension, and then release of that tension in seconds, in milliseconds, thousands of times over the course of the episode, and it's just so much. It's just so fucking much. Whoosh. Oh man, I even described it wrong because we spend this moment of hesitation on Gennau's face as he like hones in and is like sniper getting his shot ready, and then it pulls forward. We pull all the way out here and then all the way in here, and then it's moving in aftermath. And here's an actual one of the cuts, I think, that is the ones that I want to really look at, because our match between Stark and camera and Divine Revolte, our like consciousness of three-dimensional space is all perfect, and then we like it seems like we accelerate the momentum of the shot such that things are moving so fast it's almost hard to keep track of them. That was the feeling that I got for this sequence. Let's look at it at full speed. Stark runs. Okay, so that first one is not the shot that I thought it was. I think it's the one right afterward. I just didn't realize that there was a cut in between. This is a lot more like some scenes that we've had before. I'm thinking in particular, there's a scene of Sign sort of running around the big plant monster. We get the three-dimensionality, we get like beams and stuff going that create that three-dimensional rotation of the whole space all at once. This feels a lot more like that, and it feels distinct to me from the scene that comes immediately afterward. but still, that's incredible. Like, the foreground, there's enough going on in the foreground that if you just track Stark, he is doing stuff. He is running over obstacles. He is switching his grip on the thing. He is observing Revolte. He's making this leap. He's doing all this stuff. If you track Revolte, he's doing stuff too. He's battering away feathers and stuff. Okay, here's the leap. The big bam. Oh, and then here's the cut. Genta? Genta Ishimori? Is that you? I don't think it is, but these warpy smeary things are like kind of close. I'm really, look at that. Oh, it's not though. It's what's his face. It's the other Kaneda style animator, isn't it? I'm gonna have to look. I'm gonna have to straight up look. Do I look now or do I go through the rest of them and look later? Let's watch the whole cut. Bob, dude, you spinning blades of, and then he 4 points, and then it like a drill, and then it all bursts and smashes into Stark because they're not really working together super well. But then we catapult into this cut, which is different. This is a different animator. Look at the way he was whipping around in the background. It reminds me of, well, it reminds me of Waylon, and it reminds me of Watanabe, the Jujutsu Kaisen stuff. The whippiness of him in the background and the okay. So here's our leap into faster than comprehensible. Like full Snyderverse mode speed up, but even more so. Oh, that's insane. That's insane. Yeah, we're all on ones. Who thinks this way? Like, the amount of space generated by the tail in this little flippy whippy whip, it actually anchors the space altogether. Who thinks this way? Who draws this way? We've seen them before. Who are they? I don't know. It does not stop, though. Okay. Okay. Let's go Sakugaburu. We go and we check now. We gotta find out. I gotta know. Oh. Okay. First cut, top cut, Keiichiro Watanabe. Holy shit, it is! Holy shit, it's Yutaka Nakamura. Are you actually joking at the 14 plus? Action AD is Toru Iwazawa. But this is Hayato Kurosaki for the middle portion. That's who's drawing the speedy speed. Everything whipping and becoming smears is Kiro. Holy shit. Holy shit. Holy shit. And then the 14 to the end is Utapon? It's actually Utapon? It's not somebody referencing Utapon? It's just Utapon? Okay, wait. That's Kiro. Into the circle, that's Kiro. We switch to Hayato Kurosaki. Bing, 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 bing. Up. And the Stark portion is Utapon. Who draws like that? Yutaka Nakamura draws like that. Bahi JD draws like that too. He do be drawn like that. But this is Utapon. Holy shit. Wait. This, with like the kaboom, and the momentum coming in, like the way we smash against the wall, and then the camera, like, okay. Ignore Stark. We smash into the wall. The camera bounces with momentum off of the wall. Boing. What the fuck? Utah! And then this hyperspeed Utah stuff. What the fuck? That's the most insane shit. Wow. Hayato Kurosaki, Keiichiro Watanabe, Yutaka Nakamura, all in one cut. That's crazy. That's absolutely fucking insane. Okay, there are a bunch more. I want to look at a bunch more. I'm intrigued. It looks like Koki Fujimoto is responsible for like half of this thing. Koki Fujimoto. Well, what an effort. Okay, this is girl walking, right? Girl walking. Let me open all of them. We're just gonna open them all. We're gonna end up looking at them again as we go through the episode, but that's fine. Yeah, girl walking. Koki Fujimoto. Very reminiscent of his work here at 37. I will actually look at that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is very reminiscent. The walk. With the woof woof and the wind adding a like second accent point. God, that's cool. It's not even all on ones. It's just brilliant. That's some of the most incredible understanding of flow that I've ever seen. It's like everything is a little bit liquid. Everything moves. Everything has like a bounce and a weight to it. And then all of that flow accents the actual the movements that she's making, right? Like, as you're walking, one shoulder goes a little bit in front of the other, and then the other one goes in front of the other, right? And one hip goes in front of the other, and the other one goes in front of the other. And that's all happening, but it's as though all the secondary motion that's happening, the hair, the blouse, the sleeves, the like skirt, the portions of the fabric all accentuate and add to all of that as though it's all one big dance. Actually, it's almost as though there's like a halftime beat to it. This is strange, but if we think of the beat being the footsteps, bing, 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 bing. Look at when the like skirt waves. Wave, 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 wave. It's almost as though it's waving at double time on the halftime of her steps. Does that make sense? So it's like step, 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 flutter, 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 flutter. Okay. I think that's how that works. It's like music. It's like music. It's like we've got a primary beat, and then we've got all this sort of scintillating stuff going diddle-leedle, 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 where we're going bum, 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 diddle-leedle, 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 and together it's all one like harmonious movement. I've never seen anything quite like that. That's crazy. The rest of this cut has some gorgeous stuff to it as well, like Methode sinking into the mist, and it's neat. Holy fuck, that's cool. Okay. Sota Shigetsugu. Wow. I really like this in and out of camera sort of thing that this does. And then it jumps into the super speed stuff, which Shigetsugu has done before. I thought that this super speed was the same as the Utapon super speed, but now that I see it, it's different. Like, it's so much more stretched. Yeah? But I did think that these were the same animator. Okay, where have I seen that from Shigetsugu before? Is it in JJK? I'm scared of those clicks, actually. I'm scared of those clicks because of JJK. But Shigetsugu was working on season 2 primary Maharaga stuff, where there is a bunch of like extreme speed movement stuff going. So maybe it's there that I'm thinking of. Okay. Let's continue through this because there's more here. Yeah, the big fling, the smash into the thing. Yeah, that's most of it though. Okay, cool. Here we have an unknown. Not get Gosei Oda. Could be Verkreek. The shape of the sparks is super similar. Doesn't look like a Verkreek. I don't know. Oh, I did think this was crazy as he like wraps the blades around the thing and uses the hilt to dodge. Super interesting. The like stretch to his body is really distinct. I feel like it should be possible to figure out who this animator is. Not that I'm capable of doing it for sure, but okay. Got Kotomori, unknown, and our action AD. Oh yeah, this is the big hammer swing. So do you think they referenced hammer throwers and like rotoed them for this? Because like this is pretty right on for the way that Olympic hammer throwers look. Even with the leap at the end. The first axe throw is so good. The shot at 016 is awesome too. I wonder who did it. Yeah, this is amazing too. All this jumping and leaping over stuff. You know what? That could be Verkreek. It totally could. But I have no idea. I love the catch too. Whoosh. Makes it feel like it's real teamwork. Especially because they don't seem like they can get along with each other, and then they really do. Yeah, the momentum on the axe throw is kind of spectacular. I just want to look at some hammer throw gifs. That's fucking crazy. So yeah, Olympic hammers are a ball on the end of a string. There is no leap at the end. But it's badass. I wish there was a leap at the end. Kind of like discus. It's actually a little bit more like discus. Because the hippity hop. Well, that's sick. That's actually, these are super duper duper sick. Cool. It's a really cool thing to animate, right? Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Wow. Koki Fujimoto. This is that slice through, which is crazy. Methode just completely not fazed by any of this. So smooth, so like careful, so graceful. Yeah. Incredibly hot. And then this is like rhythmic gymnast or color guard tosses the baton up in the air, does the full tick tick and then grabs it. That's stolen from a rhythmic gymnast. Like completely. Okay, let me just move on. We got more Fujimoto. Favorite part of the episode, so weighty. Yeah, him dragging himself forward was stunning. There's so much in his fingertips, in every piece of him, in the shadows on him. Like, this might be the closest to a jacket scene, if you will. Yeah? And I mean, it's not mundane, it's fucking crazy, but the little things like not being able to put pressure on your upper hand, and so you switch over and you're like clawing forward on your knuckles. It feels real, man. I really get the sense that his gut doesn't work. Does that make sense? It's like the way that he's struggling to put force into the ground indicates to me that he can't compress his abdominals. Yeah, because they're open. So he's just like a severed chest up attached to a weighty leg portion, and if you can't compress there, you can't generate force downward and curl. I feel that coming through the screen. That's crazy. Okay, Koki Fujimoto. Again. Fujimoto, what the fuck are you doing? How do you... Can we also mention that all of Fujimoto's cuts so far have been completely distinct? Like incredible weightiness, character animation, focus on movement and struggle, into light show extravaganza, explosions, speed lines, smears, and subtleties and interactions and speech and magic and all still the same fucking guy. And also still the same guy for the incredible, graceful, fighting, unique. God damn, Fujimoto. Okay, Jay Castillejos and Tatsuya Yoshihara. Jay Higgs' improvement is crazy. He's in every big show now. Okay. First portion is Yoshihara. Oh, this is that with the flying. And then we throw him. And it's 14.5, so we still got a second before it's Jay Hig. And now it's Jay Hig. Jig? My mouse just died. Okay. And that's fixed. Okay, well, I gotta say, we switch over right here to Jay Hig, and Stark sort of lands, and then that lands, and then he talks, and then Gennau talks, and that's it. It's gonna be on JJK stuff, so I'm not gonna click things. Interesting, but we're gonna keep an eye out for that. This cut is not a good example of impressive stuff from Jig, because it's just not there. Koki Fujimoto, what's up, my guy? Still doing beam blasts? Oh, this little simple run up over things, and then up on the wall, bing, 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 bing. It reminds me a little bit of the in-cylinder cuts in some of Dan running up over things, but they're very different. They're very different. Those are much more dynamic in some way. These feel very, strangely restrained for being supernatural ninja moves. They feel very restrained and human and possible. And then it sort of moves into that graceful one-on-one combat sort of feeling that we have. And these moments of interaction, slicing through the hair, they remind me a little bit of dropping backward and letting a blade come over you in the Maki fight that we saw recently and stuff like that. It was listed as high for Kaganashi portion, which I guess makes sense here. Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, Toshiyuki Sato. Break the thing off, and Stark goes in for the attack. Hold him. Stark runs. Build up. Big slice to the sky. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. It's dope. And finally, Hayato Kurosaki, Keiichiro Watanabe, and Yutaka Nakamura, the cut that we looked at first. Okay, I think that covers all of the primary cuts that I really wanted desperately to look at. Let's go through the whole of the episode. We'll point at them when we get there. Now I've got names to go along with some of them, which is pretty cool. And let's just talk through the ep. Fuck. There are so many things that happen way too fast. Kinda awesome. He's faster than us. He'll chase us down. So what is Stark's? I can't read his attacks. In that case, I'll take them straight forward, just like he did with the girl he was fighting who he couldn't beat. Gonna take it head on. Yeah. And make the opening that we need. Because, man, if he had his full snaky snakeness this whole fight, we'd be fucked. You're a skilled warrior. Good enough to help. And it is. It's enough to get him a winning position. But Revolte's a talker. He's a manipulator. He's smart too. This is a similar situation. Do you want to know how he died? Well, I learned something really interesting. This one shot of the sword by his hand is like a really great setup. You should check for survivors. And we haven't been shown that she can change her form or anything like that, so there's no reason to believe that this isn't real. Of course, Gennau should think it through, but this is more than anything revelatory about who Gennau is at his deepest core. He's facing off against this monster who he despises, right? And in the moment that he sees a little girl in the town, he acts almost without thinking, trying to save another person. You can hate Gennau if you want to. You can think he's a terrible hypocrite. But he's struggling. He's trying. He's trying to be better than he is. And he's, like, aware, consciously aware that there's something broken within him, with his perspective. And he, like, I think he wants to have it unbroken, but doesn't know how. There's this complex within him. His actions and his statements and his words don't line up. It's as though he can't help himself but try to protect this child and get himself killed for it. Because 1 second extra thinking, and he'd think it through, go rational, and be like, there can't be a kid here. We've been in this town for days. Like, there's nobody left here. Not a chance. It must be a trick. It's a demon trick. But he doesn't get the second to think because he acts too quickly, right? And it's almost admirable that he acts so quickly, even if it's going to get him killed, even if it's weakness. I think that it would be like the ultimate get fucked moment if the Divine Revolte goes, I understand humans, you'll always protect a child, haha, and then he throws his sword, and Gennau goes, actually I don't give a shit. I have a job and it's to kill demons, not to save humans. This is Gennau mode, right? Like, that would be the ultimate fuck you, you don't understand us, actually, you can't manipulate us that way. We're capable of just as much darkness sort of thing, right? But no. Even Gennau, even the worst dude, in some ways, acts. It's that, I mean, it's literally the heroic impulse is to go and help someone who can't help themselves without thinking about the circumstance or the danger that it might put you in. When we transpose this over to Deku in Hiroaka, the moment that he runs after the slime monster despite being powerless is his moment of heroic catalyzation. That's when he becomes a hero, right? That's when he steps into that role. This is that heroic impulse. It's in Gennau too. That's interesting. Child, the blade goes, and Gennau's there. You're just delaying the inevitable, but then the blade falls upon him, kind of. His crow storm goes away, and it's the little girl. Did I do good? I did it. I did it. You didn't do it. Ugh. We get this moment of surprise from her. I really thought we were going to do a whole storyline around her. He just sort of casually thanks her. Thank you. Good job. And Gennau's left going, fuck, I messed up. For a moment, all I could think of was him. I knew that there couldn't be a child there. For me, I got it right. You humans have a habit of protecting their young. And Gennau does sort of laugh at that. It's like, really? Do we? I don't know. We're not great at it. There's something about the boots as he stands here that's like, they're almost too perfect. I know it's a weird thing to focus in on, but his little weight shift. It's not like it's on ones or anything. It's just careful. He almost feels CG in the motion. It's just a little bit perfect. Yeah? I only ever knew one idiot who died protecting a child he didn't know. We're taken there. Maybe he was too kind. Gennau says he met a magnificent end, our title, and Serie tells him, so even you are a liar. You say things you don't mean. There's nothing magnificent about his end. You probably don't believe that. But it's an open question. Does Gennau actually admire him for this? I think so. I think so. I think deeply. You're an unpleasant man without a shred of kindness. Don't ever change. As you wish. I shouldn't have acted out of character. Now Stark acts in character. Boom! Takes the blow. All 4 blows, too. And Gennau says, you shouldn't do this, man. You should have just played dead. Stark has a simple answer. We would have lost. We can still win, man. Victory is still in our grasp. All we gotta do is stay standing till the end. Ugh, baka. But, maybe he's got a point. Let's give it a shot. I shall walk into the jaws of death with you, Stark. The more desperate the battle, the more catharsis you feel when you survive. Looking forward to that, because this one's pretty fucking desperate. And at that point, we transition over to the other fights. Ooh, Wind Wizard is bad news, and Fern is pretty fucked in this fight. Yeah? Nice to watch from afar. Goddamn, Fern. You can't hide. You can't run. This mage is a problem. He's a big problem. Can't conceal, and also the magic fog is a perfect block to all of your attacks. Get fucked. So it really relies on Methode to work through her battle and solve ours for us, too. Fern she wouldn't have been capable of getting away because he would have been able to track her mana, would see her fleeing, would just follow, right? And she would never get the sort of distant range that she would need. So that momentary interruption of the fog by Methode is necessary. Wow. Okay, this running, so cool. So cool. I love the look of that. Whoosh. But it's nothing compared to this little footwork. Boop, boop, boop. And Methode, simple, quick, totally conscious, completely cognizant of where you are. Lets the staff get ripped from her hands, does this handspring, goes for a kick in the midst of it, turning a downfall into an advantage. It's awesome. And she is entirely conventional, defending while she attacks, no openings. Beautiful cuts of sword fighting throughout all of this, like really expressive, really beautiful. Ideally, we'd work together. She figures out the situation. Shall I cut loose a little? Oh my god, girl, she's crazy powerful. This is very similar to the wings whip forward, yeah? Except without the pull out, pull in. But woof. Something about even these simple cuts of movement and the way that they're kind of happening on beat. It's cool. Woof. But it's mist. It's an illusion? I don't even know. Turns out, Methode is probably a member of a clan that used to hunt demons. An insane clan that dedicated their lives. Let's have a fair fight. Wow. Oh, what fun. And then we whip over to... And then incredible super speed. Can we just see this anticipation, this little, squash stretch? Because he does this mid-air squash. Boom! That's crazy. Masterful movements have become those of a savage predator. Mid-air battle, just flinging people around. We're gonna lose. He is superhuman. He will kill us through simple attrition. Not if Stark has something to say about it. You want to talk about somebody who keeps going, who's got a motor that won't quit? We got an Energizer Bunny of our own here. Let's go, Stark. That's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. How many gorgeous things can we put in an episode, man? How did we do that? It's all a 3D space, yeah? And so he runs up and he jumps and he attacks. Whoa! And then we whip up to the top of it, no longer a 3D space. Good God, dude. And there for the save. Woof. Wow. There are so many cool things like the aerial delivery, kind of fastball special feel. This is just so full of cool ideas. 3 swords to go, and then on this side, incredible light show and chaos and movement. No bloodlust. Oh, you got it. I've been analyzing the fog. The rest of my clan probably wouldn't have survived because they don't know how fun magic is. I have to wonder if Frieren and Fern had any impact on Methode on that front, or if she had already figured that out for herself. I think maybe she'd figured it out for herself. The mist goes away. Ah, pointless. I could just get it. Oh, shit. Blasted by the moon and blasted from afar because Methode realizes that if Fern is unlocked, they can work together. Boom. Boom. Awesome. Nice to see ya. Not a bad move. On our flip side, it takes a little bit more of a sacrifice. Arms through the chests, through the stomachs. Only arrogant humans would think empty hands can't be weapons. I win. No. We're pretty fucking tenacious. Stark in particular. Okay, so in both fights, a character relies on another character's motions and actions to perform the killing blow. Methode creates the opening for Fern, and here, Gennau really creates the opening for Stark, although they both do it for each other. He lines it up and delivers. And both are defeated. We go back in time. You are a good person, still trying to defend the village even after it's been destroyed. Still trying to save me. I knew it. You're a good guy after all. And as though he can't believe it in himself, yeah? But there's evidence for it. Even here, at the end, he struggles towards Stark. And when he finally is awakened by Methode, the first time, he points towards Stark. Enough for me. Save him. What a strange person. What a strange character. He feels, in a dislikable way, he feels deeply human. Somebody fighting an unspoken internal battle at every turn. Kind of unshaken by the praise of others, by others telling him that he's good. Just though he just can't believe it. And maybe, as some commenters have said, maybe he doesn't deserve that. Maybe he isn't good. But there are certainly some elements of Gennau, some of his multitudes, that are respectable, admirable people. It's just that those are in conflict with so many other parts of him. So we spend some time here, and we montage through it as though it's peaceful, as though there's, I don't know, as though there's this moment of reprieve and connection. And then it's over. Methode offers to join as priest. Frieren turns her down. And we move on, saying goodbye to Gennau, with him telling us that he owes us a debt and intends to repay it. Maybe that's it. Maybe Gennau feels himself sees himself as a man who owes debts he can never repay. That seems like it might be a part of it. You're forgetting something. A thank you. May we meet again. And our mission ends. I feel so strangely bittersweet about Gennau here. It feels like he's really gained and learned something, but at the same time is so bound by something too. He's bound by his crow's wings, by his position, by who he is, and how he sees himself. I wonder if these events will actually impact him, emotionally, I mean. I don't know. But goddamn, did that lead to some cool Sakuga and some awesome fighting, huh? Hey! Hey! What a cool villain. Really enjoyable. What an interesting set of emotional and intra within the one person, intrapersonal conflicts. For an episode that's so focused on a character who's so inscrutable, like, who's so walls up, yeah? It feels so interesting because I feel like I did step beyond those walls and I got to understand Gennau and his brokenness. But then, in some sense, I can't understand it. Like, I can't grapple with it because I don't have the same experience of brokenness. It's like I struggle to overcome the barrier of empathizing with someone who I don't quite understand, in part because of how distant he is. I can see parts of it and experience them from the outside, but to like really deeply relate, it feels like there's a gap between me and him, and maybe that's the point. I'm not sure. It doesn't feel like it's like a mistake, like I'm supposed to totally grok and understand Gennau. It feels like I'm not supposed to. Like sometimes there are people that you meet where you can understand that they're in pain, but there isn't really anything that you can materially do to alter their pain besides being near them and, you know, like treating them as a full person and talking to the parts of them that don't exude that pain, you know? And it's like you could never really dig into it and really communicate about the painful part, in part because they won't let you, in part because they feel like nobody else will ever understand exactly what they've gone through, maybe. And maybe because that's true, maybe because there's always some divide, but there are some people who like thrive in having the divide, in having that separation. People you meet and know there's something broken there, but to actually stretch out over that abyss and try to help is not in the cards. And it feels that way for Gennau, strangely. I don't know. I'm still in a state of uncertainty about him. And I think that's fine. I think that's fine and interesting. In some ways, I'd rather that than have clear-cut, obvious characters that I can stop thinking about as soon as the episode ends. I'd much rather have characters that stick with me, and while there are parts of him that I don't like, and parts that I kind of admire, Gennau is a question, a puzzle, one that I don't think I have figured out terribly well. And I think for that reason, he might stick with me longer than I would otherwise expect. Okay. What an episode. What a Frieren fight. What a Sakuga fest. What a cool batch of animators. Like, holy shit. What Kiro and Utapon on one cut is not something that I had on my bingo sheet for today, but bingo, baby, bingo. That's a bingo. I love it. I think it was a cool episode. I'm excited to see where we move from here for our last two episodes of the season. Thanks for joining me for this one. I hope you enjoyed the breakdown and talk through and stuff. If you've got more insights on Gennau, more thoughts, maybe in reference to some of the comments on the previous episodes as well, because there are some interesting ones that frame out the Gennau problem, and I am curious what other people think, getting more insight into that. I'd like to unpack more of this puzzle, even if it's a lost cause, even if it's not possible. I'd like to spin some brain power against it, because it feels like there's some value to it. It's a darkness in this person, and I've endeavored recently to explore some of the darker sides of humans, some of our guilt, some of our regret, some of our remorse, some of those things. And it feels to me like Gennau's story, Gennau's persona, his being fits that in some ways that I just haven't entirely been able to unpack. So I look forward to your comments on this episode, whether they're about the animation or the storytelling or the emotional baggage carried by this character or whatever. I look forward to your comments. Hope to see you in the Discord or on the Patreon for next week's episode a little bit early. Otherwise, you can catch it right here on the YouTube next week. Much love. Peace.